Well, it is about 1:15 here, and as you can see, I got the kayak in the back, and the truck is absolutely jam-packed full of stuff. And if all goes well, at 6 a.m. tomorrow, we'll be in Texas. Let's go give it a dangle. That is right. We are headed to Texas. We're actually going to pick up a very special guest for this trip right now. But we're going to fish the Kayak Adventure Series in Paris, Texas. Had planned on, wow, there's a lot of stuff rolling around, but had planned on fishing this prior to all the stuff going down with the national championship. But me and Brian, well, spoiled it. Brian, for those of you who don't know, creek crawler, going to Texas with him. It'd be fun to go catch some big old Texas bass, especially because it's cold and rainy here in Ohio. So we're gonna go give it a dangle. 3 days. The last day is the Kayak Adventure Series. It's really windy, but regardless, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna go try and catch some big old Texas bass. Let's get it. I definitely need to give a little bit more insight into Kayak Adventure Series and what the goal of this trip is. But Kayak Adventure Series is a tournament series. It's just like every other tournament ever, except the body of water, or the lakes, plural, I guess you can fish, are usually within a 1 hour radius of, I think the 1 hour radius is the cutoff of the hosting city. So for example, instead of saying, hey, Kayak Adventure Series tournament, Lake Erie, or Lake Okeechobee, or Lake Fork, it is a city. So this is Paris, Texas. So we're fishing lakes within an hour of Paris, Texas. This first lake is Lake Bonham. It's a little bit smaller. We wanted to check it out because it's a good kayak sized lake. Unfortunately, couldn't really break it down. Only one fish catch to show you guys. But then you can go to bigger lakes like Bodark Lake, or smaller ponds, lakes that are like 250 acres. But Kayak Adventure Series is coming to Columbus, Ohio. Not Columbus, Springfield, Ohio. So, for example, since it's a 1 hour cutoff, you can still fish Alum Creek, Hoover, or in Dayton, the Great Miami River. So it's really cool. People can spread out. It's not claustrophobic or anything. It's kind of a cool idea. You can fish some sneakier lakes, some smaller lakes like Kaiser for you Ohio people. But it's really cool. Day one was us pre-fishing Lake Bonham. And day two, we actually went to Lake Fork, which wasn't in the tournament. We just kind of wanted to go there to check it out. I got a funny clip to show you guys after this. And then we ended up fishing Bodark Lake, which is a brand new reservoir in North Texas for the tournament. We'll get to that in a little bit. With all that yapping, enjoy my lone fish catch from Lake Bonham, Texas.
Oh my God, that's why you come to Texas. That is why you come to Texas. Oh my God. Blue Rock, 10.99. To the freaking face. Boom! How about it? Oh my God. Look at that. Blue Rock 10.99 XL. I got the XL for the bigger hook, bigger fish. That's almost probably pushing 4. That is a freaking stud. Let's go.
Day two brings us to Lake Fork. Looking for bedfish primarily, found a couple. I lost a nice one, couldn't really get any of them to bite. But something you guys should know about Lake Fork is Lake Fork actually is one of the few lakes in eastern Texas, I guess I should say, that has a gator population. And I kind of blew this off when I heard it. I was like, you know, they're pretty rare, and when you do stumble across them, they're usually only 5 or 6 feet. And the biggest one that is in there is actually 12.5 footers. So that's a pretty big gator. We were fishing Caney Creek, which is one of the main creeks off of Lake Fork there. It's pretty historic. Lee Livesey's 47-pound bag was in Caney Creek. But what I didn't know is that this 12.5-foot long gator lives in Caney Creek, and I rolled up on him. So you guys are gonna be able to hear the surprise in my voice of an Ohio boy going down to Texas and rolling up within 20 yards of a 12.5-foot long gator that is longer than my kayak and wider than my kayak.
Oh my God, it's a alligator. Oh my God, it's a alligator. Dude, y'all see that? I am way too far from Ohio. That is a giant alligator, like a giant alligator. Even like his head is probably 2 feet. I am getting. It's time to go back to the main lake.
That's big gator. But that brings us to day 3, last day of the Texas Send. Brings us to Derb Day, Kayak Adventure Series, 1-day shootout, Paris, Texas. Going in completely blind to Bodark Lake, which is a brand new lake. It opened last year in North Texas. It is freaking huge. This is the biggest lake I've been on, not counting Lake Erie or anything like that. In like Allen Creek terms, it's like 5 of them or 6 of them. But it's really cool because it is a completely flooded forest. It is literally, it was cow pastures 5 years ago. They built the dam, completely flooded it out. So it's close quarters fishing in flooded timber, trying to find fish in old cow pastures. And that leads to a lot of dead water. And it also leads to a lot of pockets where there's a ton of fish absolutely loaded. And I was going in blind, basically no research, to go try and catch some fish against some local hammers. Derb Day. I forgot to mention that the wind was blowing about 25 to 35 miles an hour out of the south. So never a derb day unless it's windy or cold or rainy or something like that. And I guess that goes for Texas too, not just Ohio.
Boom, baby. Let's freaking go. 15-incher. Chatterbait. 18. Big old snapping turtle. Big old snapping turtle. Oh my God, I feel like I just got jumped. I found a bridge in the middle of the lake. This is so trippy. Standing on a bridge in the middle of the lake. Like literally, it's half mile, 4 miles, 1 mile of water. Hope this thing's structurally sound. There's a very good chance that I will be the last person to ever walk on this bridge, which is actually pretty cool. I don't know about how good the fishing is off of it. We'll take a cast down the road, but I don't know, I think that's pretty sweet. GoPro got banged up coming through some trees and came unplugged, but it was a nice little dink to add to our, I guess the third fish of our quote-unquote Texas bag. See if we can't scrap any other ones together. Alright, well, that's gonna do it. Texas sends. Got a bug in my ear, 2025. Honestly, pretty humbling. I sucked. Whole trip. But I think Brian did pretty good today, so good for him. I just wasted too much time in dead water. The wind switch was brutal. There was no fish back there when they were probably, I don't know, felt like there should have been, but I think this lake's just too new. I don't know. Plus, there's a lot of dead water with when you flood an entire forest. It's what trees have fish, what don't is the hard part for me. That's where I struggled, but it is what it is. Adam Coleman did pretty good. I know he has at least a century belt, which is pretty sweet. He's bed fishing on some lake. I'd like to know where, because probably ain't here. So we'll head to awards and see how I finished.
Well, kind of took a dump in that tournament. You know, there's an old saying, don't leave fish to find fish. And regardless, I didn't get a bite in like an hour and a half in that spot where I caught that 18. And I left it to go find fish. Never got on a pattern, caught a fish on a minnow, chatterbait, and the chatterbait on a point. 3 completely different things. I wasted way too much time looking for bedfish, didn't find any. Got lost in endless cattle pastures that were just wastelands of nothing. There was no life whatsoever in them. And to make things worse, Brian, the creek crawler, fished that spot where I caught that 18 all day, and he absolutely tore him up. So the bite turned on as soon as I left, which hurts, but came in 26 out of 40th. Not proud of it. Got my teeth kicked in, but I did beat 5 people from Texas, so that's something. And then the other thing with the Kayak Adventure Series is that there's people on other lakes, and 1st through basically 10th, we're all on this tiny little lake, absolutely whacking them. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Adam Coleman, Ohio represent, dropped 102.5, I believe, on their heads. Took home the dub and a big old fat check. So shout out to Adam. Congratulations. You absolutely whacked them. You absolutely kicked my butt. Way to start the year off right. But I'm glad I got to work the kinks out. We're headed to Alum Creek in Hoover for OKF stop 1 here next. And it's a week and a half from when I'm editing this. So you guys will see the practice video, then the actual tournament video. I'm going to be honest with you right now. That tournament's going to be freaking grind. Water temps are like 47-ish. Main Lake. We have some rain in the forecast next week, which should help bring up water temps, but it's going to be scope and hope type of day, I believe. I don't know. I got to put in the work. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a cool practice video, seeing me go from absolutely no idea how to catch fish and maybe some idea how to catch fish, or absolutely whack them. But this Texas send was absolutely sweet. It was a bucket list trip for me. I'm 100% going back, and it actually wasn't that bad of a trip. 14 hours sounds like a lot, but You give me another long weekend here soon, I might be headed back. Thank you guys for watching. Check me out on Instagram and TikTok at OKBassin. Check out Kayak Adventure Series. They are coming to Ohio. Appreciate you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.